Okay, welcome to Podnutz Daily for September 11th, 2008, episode number 75. For those of you who were looking for the video version of this podcast yesterday on uStream, it's not there because I forgot to hit the record button. That's why that's not there. But you can catch the audio if you want to watch the show, or you can at least listen to it if you catch the audio at podnutzdaily.com. Still looking for feedback on the Podnutz Lounge, guys. If you guys have been in there, if you like the Java the Java software, any feedback is appreciated about that. Any suggestions about that, I would like to. I'd love to provide a place where people could comfortably go, when they're on the internet and want to talk some tech or do some computer repair chat, and provide a place for that. So I set up a place called the Podnutz Lounge. It's at podnutz.com/lounge. And, check it out if you get a minute. And it's open 24/7, so you can just pop in there and see who else is in there and chat. Speaking of chat, Howard is in the chat room today, and I did mean to give him a hard time yesterday about finally picking up his computer from my shop. I repaired it I think it was about a year ago, and he finally just picked it up yesterday. No, it wasn't a year. It was about a couple weeks. And now he's afraid to turn it on for some reason. All right, anyway, over to what happened today. Had a Dell laptop. Guy had brought in and hit the power button. The lights go on. No picture on the screen, so I'm talking like the LED lights go on. The fan does not spin. It runs for about 3 seconds, and then it turns off. To opened it up. Checked out the mother. Well, the first thing I did normally when in a situation like this, I start pulling components off of the laptop one at a time and trying it to see if any of those components are causing it to not start up, like the wireless card, switching out the sticks of RAM. You pull the battery out, pull the hard drive out, the CD drive. See if you could run Knoppix on it. Then you get an idea of what the problem is. Well, this we narrowed down to either the processor or the motherboard at this point. And I was leaning towards processor because it was acting a bit erratic. Sometimes it would go a little farther than other times, but then it kind of settled down and just evened out. So every time we did hit the power button, it would go on for the LEDs would go on for 3 seconds and it would power off. Anyway, I discovered on his motherboard a sticky substance covering one of the regions where there was some chips and circuits and things. And it looked like something was spilled in there and, dried up, like some kind of juice or something, dried up, and then it started corroding. There was corrosion that was occurring at some of the points on the motherboard. So what I did, this is a shot, a long shot, but I take, electrical cleaner. If you don't have that, I use this Purell for the hand sanitizer. And so I used electrical cleaner first and a toothbrush. I sprayed it down with electrical cleaner. I took a toothbrush and I just I brushed off that circuit board in that section and just tried to get all the corrosion off and try to make it as clean as possible. Then make sure it's completely dry. The reason you use electrical cleaner is because it evaporates in no time flat. So make sure it's dry, and then you can try it out after that. It wasn't getting all the corrosion off, so now I went to the Purell, which is a hand sanitizer I like to use sometimes to clean corrosion. I put I take the toothbrush, I put the Purell, press it down into the toothbrush and put a little daub or whatever you want to call it on there. And I scrub that spot of the motherboard. And I use the Purell because it's alcohol-based. It evaporates very quickly, too. Notice I said I did not use water to do any of these things. You don't want to put water on your motherboard. Purell is probably not the greatest thing for it, but you want something that's going to evaporate real fast if you do have to put liquid onto it. And then I made sure it was sufficiently dried, and then I tried it out, and it booted up this time. And so I thought everything was fixed, and the guy got lucky because we cleaned off that spot of the motherboard that should have been fried, and it actually started working. Well, after I put everything back together on the computer, it started to stop working again. So the motherboard's just, even if it does work one time, it's not going to work every time. It's just too flaky at this point, so I think he needs a new motherboard. Had another compact laptop. This particular laptop wasn't getting, it was running Windows XP, but it was just acting real funny in the fact that you'd hit my computer icon, you wouldn't see the icon, nothing would happen. He had no internet access. Goofy things in the operating system were just acting up like that. I can't remember any other things, but those were like the main things. You know, we ran dial-a-fix. We did all the normal cleanup stuff. We ran super anti-spyware, I think, even, just to make sure no spyware was messing up the works. And nothing really helped that problem. So it's a compact, probably about 3 or 4 years old computer, and has a recovery partition on it. So we wanted to save his data, so we went in and we did a non-destructive system recovery. I like doing system recoveries because they put all the drivers back on the machine and bring the computer back to factory settings. So you don't have to really configure it much. As long as the customer's okay with that, you just bring it back to factory settings. It doesn't take a lot of time to do. And HP has a non-destructive recovery, which doesn't erase all of his files. We did that, and that worked out okay. He was happy with that. The computer was good as new, technically. Of course, we removed Norton. The first thing we do is when we do the system recovery and put like AVG or Avast on there. I've been using AVG a lot. I haven't used Avast in months, probably, on customers' machines. I like using AVG. I like version 8. It seems pretty solid. It's a little boggier than 7.5, but if you turn off the security browser thing for it and daily scanning, it works real good. Okay, this last thing, we're trying to debate, me and my dad are trying to debate whether the spyware is causing this or what, or just a Windows fluky thing. I had a desktop come in. Was it a desktop? Yeah, a desktop. Dell desktop filled with spyware, adware, all kinds of junk viruses. As we're cleaning it up, we noticed there was 4 accounts set up on this machine. Well, we do a lot of stuff in safe mode, where we have to go into safe mode and we have to log into each account in safe mode and run our programs like CCleaner and Super Anti-Spyware. Well, there was one account that only appeared in normal mode, would not even appear in the safe mode menu, and we're not exactly sure why this is. If it's caused by the spyware, it could mean that the spyware designer is doing that on purpose, so we don't use safe mode to go in and remove his program. Because sometimes it's more difficult to do things in normal mode because the things are running. Things are running that the spyware company wants to continue running. So we're thinking maybe it's a devious attempt to thwart our attempts to get the spyware off the machine by making that logon, that user account, not appear on the safe mode, in the menu in safe mode. Either that or it's our imaginations or just a fluky window thing. But that's something to look out for. Maybe that's the latest thing, making accounts not appear. So you can't go into the account and clean them up. Let me see if there's anything else exciting that happened in the shop. We installed a screen on a laptop.